If there's one mental skill that can really make the difference between mere survival and success, it's mindset. If you can learn how to consciously take more control of your mindset as a firefighter, this is a real game changer for the things that you're going to see in this profession. So buckle up, because today we are exploring the transformative power of your outlook. Welcome, hotshots, to Firepower X. This is a place where I help you stay one step ahead of stress as a firefighter. My name is Jess. I'm a former firefighter and a neuro-linguistic programming master practitioner. What is that? That's a fancy way for saying I'm a personal trainer for your mind. And I want to be your secret weapon to stay one step ahead of stress and become a beast, an absolute beast at work and at home. Mindset, this is the key learning I really want you to grasp. If you can grasp this, your entire life will change. And I'm not even kidding you. This is not some big claim that I can't deliver on. I guarantee you. Mindset is all about perspective. And when you really start thinking about your mind in terms of location, we all have mental maps. Cognitive science shows us that we have a mental map. We have a cognitive map. Just like we have a cognitive map of our physical environment so we can navigate around it, we have a cognitive map of thoughts, ideas, concepts. There's a spatial quality that you can feel to this. When something feels really close to you, that's a trigger because you've well-worn neural pathways right to that area on your mental map. Meanwhile, the things that feel really far away, your goals, your bigger dreams, the things you haven't accomplished yet, they feel far away. They physically feel far away in your mind. So if you can grasp the concept of thinking about your mind in terms of location, 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 this is where the magic happens. It's when we get trapped in perspectives that we tend to have these mental mayday scenarios, when we are so fixated in one place, just totally convinced that that is the truth of our situation, and we have a really hard time seeing it from any other perspective. That's when we tend to go down. We literally go down. It is the same as a mayday. We are trapped under all of this rubble of our narrative and where our attention is going. We're literally pinned down, and people are willing to destroy themselves in order to get out of this space. So if we want the statistics to change, if we want to take more control of our faculties, of our capabilities, of this concept of location, and not get trapped anymore in these really dark, scary, nasty, gross places that bum us out, we have to learn that entrenchment is a perspective. That feeling of entrenchment, that's because of those navigational neurons. When you're entrenched in a perspective, recognizing that if I just go somewhere else in my mind, I won't feel these things. The feelings and the emotions, the associations, is based on the perspective. They're location dependent. And if I move, I will feel something different. I'll have different sensations, right? When I change my perspective, everything shifts. I shift, my lived experience shifts. That is what we really have to grasp. Think about it as location, because it becomes very finite when we are entrenched. When we're entrenched in something, it feels like that is how it's going to be for the rest of our lives. We lose perspective. Think about that situational awareness. Maintain the situational awareness that the places where you are in your mind are merely places. Can you extract from them and go somewhere else? When one of them gets scary, unproductive, it doesn't feel good, it's a negative state of being, can you recognize that you're just in the wrong place and you need to move? That takes the pressure off of feeling so overwhelmed with having to fix all of this stuff outside me so that I can feel good again. No, you just have to move in here first. You just have to move in here first. That's the quickest way to extricate, is recognizing that it's location dependent. So Jess, how do we do this? How do I actually do this? Give me some practical tips. Yes, I would love to. Think about it as zooming in and zooming out. Think about it as a camera or like a scope of a gun. Sorry, it's a little, scope of a gun. When you're looking through a scope, you're seeing a very limited perspective. Think about your mind in the same way. When you're telling a story about something that's happening to you and you're feeling the associated emotions of being in that state, that is where you're putting your attention. You're actually just considering a small slice of life. So the zoom in, zoom out method is akin to a scope of a gun, a camera lens, looking through, recognizing that what you are seeing right now in your experience, your day-to-day lived experience, whatever is bothering you is in that scope. And so what we want to do is either zoom in or zoom out. Zoom in or zoom out. This sounds abstract, but I know you're going to understand this from these analogies I'm giving you. What happens when we zoom out? So zooming out is one way to do that. Bigger picture thinking. Get bigger picture thinking about your situation. Instead of fixating on that area that you are, open your perspective up. Look around. See what else is going on. What else is important to you besides this topic? What else is happening in your environment? Can you get involved in that? And what you'll find is by doing that immediately, your perspective is going to shift. It naturally shifts. If you take a bigger picture view of what's happening, you take a bigger picture perspective, zoom out a little bit and think about it just like you're backing up and look around. Be like, what else is happening that I can get involved in, that I can dive into? What else is important to me? What else can I focus on? It immediately eliminates that trapped feeling because you've changed your perspective. You're not just solely focused on that one challenge or that one person at work or that one thing that's really getting to zoom out, zoom out. The other thing to do is zooming in, zooming in. Again, changes perspective. If you were to take whatever image you saw in the lens or the scope and go even further into the details, same concept. Zooming in, focus on one detail at a time. Let's say you get diagnosed with cancer. Some firefighters do. If you zoom in and say, okay, realistically, what does this mean in terms of my life change? Okay, so I have to go to chemo once a week. And maybe I need to change my diet. And that's it. I'm just going to focus on doing those things. Once a week, I show up to chemotherapy or radiation or whatever, and I change my diet. That's what I'm going to focus on. I am going to zoom in from that bigger, scary story of I have cancer. What does this mean? Oh my God, this is really serious. Zoom into the single steps that you need to take and focus on those. This is also great when something overwhelming is in your field of view. Zoom in. What is the next thing I have to do? Okay, you do it. Okay, what is the next thing I have to do? It keeps your focus based on the tasks instead of, whoa, this bigger picture. So remember, these are the two ways you can change your perspective, that you can start to manage your mindset and get yourself in and out of places in your mind, uncomfortable scenarios, and move to a different perspective where you'll feel a lot better. I know this was helpful to you. Drop a comment below. I'm happy to engage with you if you have any questions or you want to follow up with me. If you want even more content like this, come join our community over at firepowerx.com, where we have live coaching opportunities and peer-to-peer networking so that you can be a total mindset master and kick it out of the park every day. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.